Hello, my beautiful peeps. How are we doing today? Icicle Fisher, and I am bringing you guys a pretty good UU match that I had on Pokemon Showdown. I'm using a brand new team that I made, and I really love. I've got a couple of really close matches stacked up with it. I'm using a Moonbro again, just because I absolutely love that core in UU. And then a really offensive build turn up around it. So let's take a look at the team preview. I'm using Medicham, Choice Banded, Adamant, just because I wanted to. And actually, its two stabs of Fighting and Psychic are much more safe in UU than they are in RU. Less Ghost types, less Fighting types, less Dark types even. And its wall breaking capabilities, which are going to enable Sharpedo later in the game to sweep through. And Hamdoom is going to take out all the ghosts for Medicham to do his work, and it's like a three-pronged attacking core all over the place. Then we got a Moonbro because it's a fantastic defensive core with a Cobalion thrown on because rocks, volt switching, nice momentum, really nice physical defense, and it's just a general thing that patches up a lot of weaknesses that my team has. Threats on his team. Shaman, if it's life orb defensive, is going to be a big threat just because it's very scary and powerful, and obviously Moxie Heracross can sweep any unprepared team. Even Moonbro has a lot of problems with it. Anyway, first turn, Nidoqueen, Rocks, first turn. I was thinking that Earth Power is too much of an obvious play, and so I'm just going to switch straight into my Medicham, predicting him to be threatened, predicting him to go for the Rocks, but unfortunately that just backfires completely. It was a stupid play on my part. He's just going to be able to take out my Medicham first turn with an Earth Power. So anyway, Shaman's going to come in on my Sharpedo, which is fine. Going to go into Moongus to sponge any hit at all, and then switch out of there into Cobalion, predicting his switch out. Into Snorlax, I believe, to predict me to Spore. However, he shows me the Psychic, and I'm like, oh shit, because now that he's still in, I'm going to predict him to have the Earth Power, scout for that with the Moongus, and then I'm like, oh god, this thing's going to be such a big threat because it's Life Orb, it's got so much coverage on my team. So what I'm going to do is going to predict him to go for the Psychic, because he just went for the Earth Power, I switched to the Moongus, you're going to go for the Psychic on an Moongus, right? So I'm going to bring in my Houndoom thinking, oh yeah, that's such a good play. No, because he's going to go for the Earth Power, predicting my switch into Houndoom, and that was absolutely fantastic on his part. And then I'm going to make a ridiculous play, go with the Fire Blast. His Houndoom is just going to come and get the Flash Fire boost, and oh god, this is going horribly. I've already lost two Pokemon, and it's turn 8, and they're pretty much my two most important offensive threats, and it's like, that means I'm going to have to bring out Sharpedo a lot earlier than I would have liked. And obviously he's going to stay and go for the Sucker Punch, and I'm going to switch out there and to Cobalion, knowing I can take pretty much any hit he wants to throw at me. Save Fire Blast, but I didn't think he was going to go for that on a Sharpedo. His Shaman's going to come in. Earth Power is obvious. I'm going to have to switch straight out of there into a Moongus once more, and then I know I'm going to be able to take a Psychic. I just wish I had the Sludge Bomb. I'm going to hit him with the Clear Smog. I thought it might do a nice chunk of damage, but no. In fact, after this game, I changed it to Sludge Bomb. That's how much. But anyway, he makes another fantastic prediction. Predicts my switch into Slowbro to take the Psychic. Goes for the Sophrat. I'm like, oh god, this guy's good. It's like, so switch back into a Moongus, take the Sophrat. I know he's going to go for a rest because that's what Shaman do. There's nothing I can do about it. Safe, hit him for a Clear Smog, just get some damage on him, because that is what I felt like doing. That's what I needed to do if I was gonna, you know, start whittling away that thing's health. I do predict the switch very nicely, if I do say so myself. Well, not really. I mean, it was quite obvious. But Nidoqueen's going to come in, and I'm going to Spore that thing, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a big threat out of the way, and then I predict the switch once more. Going to go for the Stun Spore on the switch, and Hamdoom comes in. I'm like, yes, I Stun Spore that thing. Unfortunately, I miss. I'm going to have to take a Fire Blast, stay in, paralyze the thing, switch out of there in Slowbro, which he predicts once more. I'm like, what more can I do? He's just predicts the switch into Slowbro, which was quite obvious, but hey, I'm just going to switch straight back into a Moongus. He gets paralyzed. I will never know if he predicted if he predicted that I went for the Fire Blast. If he had have done, I would have lost, but hey, he might not have done, we never know. Switch back into Slowbro as he goes to the Fire Blast, and kind of just switching between Slowbro and a Moongus, making up for my mispredictions, getting the Regenerator back to decent ranges of health, which is really what I need to happen. Anyway, he's going to go for the Sucker Punch, which I thought was a slightly odd play, because I think a paralyzed Houndoom still outspeeds a a slow row, pretty much. But hey, he obviously doesn't think that I'm going to be able to take him out with this gold after taking a sucker punch. And then obviously as Shaman comes in, I'm going to predict him to predict my switch to Amoongus, and I'm going to stay in and hit him with the fire blast, which is going to take him out. Unfortunately I miss. It's like, no, because I missed that, and it's just a bad thing. He's going to predict the switch into Amoongus now, hit me with the sidekick, which is really nice. He's obviously getting a lot more of these predictions right than I am, but as long as I can keep getting a few right, I know I should be able to live. He makes up for the fire blast miss right there by missing that seed flare, and then I'm going to predict him to predict my switch back into Amoongus and predict him to go for the sidekick, but unfortunately he's going to go for a seed flare. Stupid play on my part, and I am going to lose my slow bro. But right here I make amends for that by making a nice prediction. I was going to predict him to predict me to go for the protect. Normally you'd switch out a Shaman, right, but he's going to predict my protect, and I'm going to just take him out with a crunch, which is absolutely fantastic. But Heracross is going to come in. I know I can go to Amoongus because now that Slowbro is on, Amoongus is my best Heracross check. Eat the close combat very nicely, even though this is a very specially defensive build. Snorlax is going to come in, and I do predict that switch quite nicely. Go out to Cobalion, and then I'm going to predict the switch into Cofagrigus and go for the Toxic, which is very nice indeed, because now that that thing's Toxic, it's a lot less of a threat, basically. I mean, I've managed to carve myself a little leeway in this game, a couple of nice plays there, and I know Amoongus is a very nice water Cofagrigus. I maybe predicted a nasty plot. Go for the Clear Smog, just to hit him for some damage as well. Giga Drain really won't be doing much more than Clear Smog, and the Toxic is going to be whittling away its health. Snorlax is going to come in as I go for the Giga Drain, just to get some health back, and then I'm like, I'm going to predict him to go for the return, because he wants to get rid of my Amoongus as quickly as possible, switching my Cobalion, which is very nice indeed, because it means I am going to be able to get up some Stealth Rocks right here, because my main goal of the game now is to sweep with Sharpedo, because Sharpedo still at a nice range of health, and Heracross and Snorlax are the only things stopping me sweeping right now, and if I can whittle them down to the point where Sharpedo is going to be O-coming them, then that is absolutely fantastic. Anyway, he makes what is, in my opinion, a slightly dodgy play. He's gonna leave in his Nidoking on my Sharpedo, allow me to take it out with the Waterfall. And I thought about going for a Waterfall on this Heracross, and then I was like, no, I'm going to go into Cobalion, predicting the Mega Horn, which is very nice indeed, because, yes, I can take a Mega Horn very nicely, get 14% more damage, which, hey, you never know, could be absolutely vital, because it could mean the difference between, Sharpedo KOing and Sharpedo not KOing, hence the difference between me winning this match and losing this match. I'm going to switch straight back into Cobalion as I switched into Amoongus, because I'm going to get the Regenerator boost, then because I predicted him to stay in and go for the Mega Horn on my Amoongus. But anyway, Cofagrigus is going to come in. I'm just going to Volt Switch, get a little bit more damage on the Cofagrigus, go into Amoongus and completely walls that thing. Now he's just going to sack his Cofagrigus, pretty much knowing that there's no point switching it out, because he's going to be taking rocks on Toxic, and I can just switch in my Amoongus anytime I want to and take him out. So Cofagrigus is going to go down, and for the first time I am ahead in the game. I'm like, oh my gosh. But he's kept around his two biggest threats pretty much, Snorlax and Heracross, so I'm going to predict him to predict my Cobalion switch in and go for the Earthquake, and I'm going to sport him, which is absolutely fantastic, because now that the Snorlax is spored, Cobalion can come in, and he's not going to switch out to Heracross, because he knows that he needs to be at the most range of health possible to give him the best possible chance of living a waterfall from Sharpedo. So Snorlax is going to go down. Cobalion is going to be at a decent range of health. Heracross is going to come in. I'm going to switch into Amoongus, because I know he's not going to lock himself into Mega Horn. He locks himself into Earthquake, which is a good compromise, because I know that I hit the stun spore. Basically, if I didn't hit the stun spore, I stood a very good chance of losing the game. Unfortunately for him, I am going to hit, which is absolutely fantastic. I didn't want to go for the spore, because just in case he got the first turn wake, then I switched into Sharpedo. I only would have got one speed boost before he woke up, and a +1 Adamant Sharpedo doesn't outspeed a Choice Scarf Jolly Heracross. But because I got the stun spore on him, obviously I'm going to outspeed him anyway. I'm just going to let him take out my Amoongus, who was the MVP of the game by absolutely miles. What a Pokemon, ladies and gentlemen. Amoongus, wow, I love it so much. But yeah, Sharpedo just going to be able to come in, finish off the game by taking out his Heracross, and that is going to be game, ladies and gentlemen. An absolutely fantastic game, if I do say so myself. And I mean, really, I just really thought I had lost when I was 2 6-4 down, and 2 of my main offensive threats have gone. It's a shame you didn't get to see Medicham in this game, because Medicham, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolute beast. And but yeah, I think that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a subscribation if you did enjoy, and a like would absolutely make my day. And yeah, thank you so much for watching once more. This is Icicle Fish signing out. Peace.